So this is a video I didn't necessarily want to make, but I feel like I need to. And this is just my opinion. So just remember, who am I? And I look at things through the biblical lens, as I've said, okay? There's this group of people, and I don't even know how, there's a lot of them in the group. I'm not saying there's special interest or anything like that, but they're in this holistic path, and I'm not against holistics. It's just they go a step far, okay? So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had watched an interview with RFK Jr., and it's not about him. I mean, he's making the rounds, doing the podcast, right? But he is a globalist, though. And so anybody who's a globalist, it's like, no way. But it's the spirituality component to it. I'm not trying to go after if people believe in this. I'm just saying, there's something false about it. Again, it's just my opinion, right? So the podcast that I was listening to was this one, Aubrey Marcus. Some people may know who he is. I've heard him on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's part of this group too. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Aubrey Marcus is a globalist. So there's that section of people that because I look at things through the biblical lens, and because it seems like the world's on fire and people will want to run and find some hope in something. And I feel like this is like the false path. That's just my opinion, of course. But let me explain why I say that. Because it all surrounds this. The minute I hear the word transcend, it's like nails on a chalkboard. We're going to transcend, we're going to raise in our vibration and our energy centers and chakras. And when everybody raises in consciousness, even Christ consciousness, they'll say, then we will all come together as one big ball of light and energy and love, and we will pour love and peace all over the earth, and then everything will be transformed and we will bring heaven to earth. Yeah, that's totally unrealistic. I'm just saying it. So is it a nice vision? Sure it is. Okay? Is it a nice vision? But it requires everyone thinking the same, doesn't it? Yeah. So there's nothing, I'm not going after this Aubrey Marcus. I just think that there's a lot of globalists that are trying to pull people in because they know people are seeing, those that are paying attention, see what's going on in the world, and they're just like, everything is, everything is falling apart, everything is burning up, like the world's on fire, and they want, you want an escape, okay? And I get it, and Jesus is the best escape in my opinion. Not that, the thing is, this goes even further though, and I feel like there's that group of people, a lot of people that know they don't trust the science anymore for obvious reasons. The science did it to themselves. And so this group is out there and they're all about the holistics, okay? And I'm not against holistics, but it goes too far. But it's all wrapped up into the same thing. Like Wim Hof is part of this. He's that guy that, submerses himself in ice tubs. Even Joe Rogan does this. They say there's health benefits. Okay, I'm not disputing, whatever. Jordan Peterson's part of this. Jordan Peterson is a brilliant man. However, he's global. They will say they aren't. They will seem like they're coming at you. Amazing Polly, who you can go on her website. She not too long ago, a few months ago, she did a video about how this is like the Jordan Petersons, these different people, they're kind of like the new globalists trying to pull you in, but they're all tied to the same kind of foundations. So a little bit about Aubrey Marcus. He is the founder of Onnit, a globally disruptive brand based on a holistic health philosophy he calls total human optimization. You've probably heard, if you watch Joe Rogan, he's talked about this. And he's been on Joe Rogan. Onnit remains an industry leader with products optimizing millions of lives, including many top professional athletes around the world. Aubrey is the visionary behind the donation-based coaching platform Fit for Service, which recently hosted the transformational music festival Arcadia. If you ask Aubrey what he is most passionate about, it is raising awareness for psychedelic medicine, including dedicated philanthropic support to MAPS.org and Hefter Institute. Okay, so I'll get to the MAPS.org in a minute, but this Arcadia, like, it's just a music, it's just strange, and you can tell it's globalist. It's globalistly driven. Here's why. And this is coming up in November. What is Arcadia? Arcadia represents a return to innocence beyond the tragedy of our separation from each other and the earth. This event exists as a parallel reality that lives within the default world. It is less a single event or a sole location, but rather a revolution of perspective. And when we create Arcadia together, its allurement becomes irresistible like gravity. It will, well, you can see the rest of it. I can't see it because of the recording tab. So, again, and then you bring in this MDMA, ayahuasca, and I'm not trying to tell, I probably sound like, a stiff, really, like, well, God, maybe people, because his argument is that why should the FDA or people, why should they be controlling it? Well, I don't trust the FDA any more than I trust any of the other ones. But that said, I don't think you should just be handing this stuff out. These are perfect ways for people to escape. That's part of the problem we have, is everybody's looking for an escape. Really, they are. Whether they use work, alcoholism, drugs, whatever it is. There's so many, we're all addicted to our devices. And it's because that the world is a messed up place even before the last few years, and that's why people zone out politics. They want nothing to do with it. I can't change it, whatever happens. And I get it. I get that attitude. However, sometimes in order to have something, worth saving, you have to fight for it. And America is one of those things. So, but this group is all about the globe coming together, like Marianne Williamson is all about. If we raise in our consciousness, and if you don't know who Marianne Williamson is, she, back in the day, Oprah Winfrey, when she had her radio show on satellite radio, Marianne Williamson did like a radio program doing her book, Return to Love. Except she didn't write the book, and really the Return to Love is basically just a pretty version of the 12 steps. It really is. It's because I listened to it, I'm like, oh, this sounds familiar. Oh, that sounds oh, this next. Oh, it's the 12 steps. Just in a pretty version form. The thing is, she's very these people seem very phony to me. I'm sorry, but they do. Because it's all about, we just have to raise our vibration, always be happy and always be loving. Like, people actually are at a point today where they can't recognize, they hear somebody speak honest, like Trump, and they take that as him attacking. And I was listening to that PBD podcast. I forget the guy's name. Valuetainment. A clip from that today. And these are people like that are saying, how could Trump, say this about Netanyahu? What, the truth? Like, we've become a world that just wants so much that and even somebody, and they had this ex-CIA agent who's always on Rogan, and I don't trust him at all. I don't remember his name. I just don't. It rubs me the wrong way. Something about him. So, but he was saying, well, this is why Trump didn't get reelected, because people don't want everybody fighting. And it's like, no, you need to recognize when he's speaking the truth, because without the truth, you will end up in hell. You will. But people in this world, they want the pretty, oh, it sounds good. They make it sound good, but they're lying to me. Does that make any sense? I'll follow this up with MAPS.org, because that's how they're bringing in research for psychedelics, and they want to legalize all this. as if this should be important right now. I don't think so.